Hey everyone, this is an introduction to modules 6 and 7. In the history of scholarly research on race and difference, there has been an overwhelming focus on the bodies, knowledge, and experiences of racialized and indigenous peoples. One of the results of this European obsession with categorizing and classifying non-European peoples has been the maintenance of white supremacy, or the system of power and privileges that benefit a social group known today as white people, to the detriment of racialized and indigenous peoples. The advent of critical whiteness studies in the U.S. Academy in the 1980s was an attempt to rectify the one-dimensional focus on racialized and indigenous peoples in scholarly research by casting light on the experiences of power and privilege that white folks obtain through no effort of our own. The next two modules, that's 6 and 7, consider some of this field of research, opening up questions about how we maintain the same racial inequalities today that most white people think are a thing of the past. It is from recent research into the matter that we know that white people, like myself, whether they consider themselves white or not, tend to see the social world quite differently than racialized minorities and global populations of racialized and indigenous peoples. What accounts for these disparities in interpretations of the social world? If we accept that race is a social construct, as Miles argues, then these interpretations are not simply coincidental or natural. They have a long basis in social logics that benefit white people in almost all social, political, and economic configurations. The material in modules 6 and 7 take us to several sites of popular culture to deconstruct and explain how whiteness lulls us to sleep in its seeming race-neutral simplicity. In particular, you'll get to pick an article and watch a corresponding film about either Forrest Gump or Crash, two Academy Award-winning Hollywood films that present comfortable representations of whiteness in contemporary U.S. society. And you'll read about and watch videos on how whiteness operates as the norm in professional hockey and in the Olympics. I look forward to discussing this further with you.